In the constant conflict that exists between God's justice and humans' perceived justice, we have the famous story of Avram arguing with God about the destruction of stone. Throughout history, it's hard to see how God can do things that seem evil. And human beings have found themselves in a place where they either are obedient and accept God as an authority, or they stand strong and they say that this is wrong. Both sides seem to have an issue. If we just accept God as an authority, where's our moral conscience? And on the other side, if we see ourselves as people who can argue with God, that makes no sense in the first place. Meaning God is greater. If you believe that God is all-powerful and great, then how in the world can you see Him as making a wrong choice? Avram Avinu comes to argue with God from a very interesting perspective. Right in the middle of his argument, he says a famous line. As he's saying, but there may be 50 people, there may be 40 people, or 30 people, he comes and he says, Va'anochi afar ve'efer. God, I am nothing. I am dust of the earth. Why is he saying this in the middle of his argument? The answer is because Avram is choosing an interesting way to walk the line between these two extremes. He doesn't see himself as somebody who thinks that God is wrong. He accepts God as authority. But accepting God's authority for Avram Avinu is a total acceptance. It's not seeing yourself as less than God, but it's seeing yourself as part of God's plan. And if you see yourself as part of God's plan, you can see yourself as able to argue with God because your end is the exact same. If you have the humility to look at yourself as not as contentious, but rather as a partner, as somebody who's on the same page, then you can start arguing. And I think that that's true not just with Avram Avinu arguing with God, but it's true in all arguments that we have. If we see ourselves as together and working for the same things, then arguments are not from a place of arrogance, but rather they're from a place of humility, from a place of working together to strive to reach that end which we all are striving to reach. Shabbat Shalom.